There is a specific kind of tired that has nothing to do with sleep. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You work hard every single day. You put in the hours while the rest of the world rests. And yet the financial breakthrough you were promised never seems to arrive, no matter how much physical effort you exert. It feels as though you are driving with the emergency brake pulled completely tight. Important note: this is timeless wisdom. Read the description below this video to aid you in achieving the optimum results. You look around and see others winning easily. They seem to attract wealth and peace without breaking a single sweat. But for you, every step forward feels like a battle against an unseen enemy. Your shoulders carry a heavy weight. You wake up with exhaustion already sitting on your chest. And as the days turn into months, you start to wonder if the universe is purposely working against your grandest goals. You ask yourself if you are somehow cursed to fail. I am here to tell you that this is not a lack of effort. You do not have a motivation problem. You have a programming problem. Deep within the architecture of your subconscious mind, there is an outdated script. It runs quietly in the background. It constantly sabotages every conscious step you take toward building your empire. You think you are doing everything right, but the universe does not respond to your physical labor alone. It responds strictly to your energetic frequency. It responds to the invisible signals you transmit every second of the day. Right now, your frequency is caught in a loop of immense struggle. And that struggle is absolutely not a punishment. It is a strict test. The universe is testing you before your success, and you must pass it. Heaven places a massive wall in front of you, not to stop your progress, but to see exactly how badly you want it. You feel like everything is falling apart, right when you are about to win. The financial pressure builds. The people around you begin to doubt your vision. The daily isolation becomes incredibly loud. You are tired in a way that regular rest and coffee cannot fix. But you must realize that this extreme exhaustion is the ultimate validation of your upcoming victory. You are being pushed to your absolute limit, and this is exactly where the masses surrender. The drifter will look at this sudden hardship and surrender. He will claim that society is deeply unfair. He will complain that the system is broken, and he will return to the comfortable misery of a very average life. But you are not a drifter. You are watching this right now because you belong to the 1%. You are an architect of destiny who feels the call to greatness burning brightly inside your chest. This pain is simply the universe asking you a defining question. Are you ready to command your reality, or will you let temporary circumstances dictate your future? You must thoroughly understand that extreme pressure always precedes extreme transformation. The darkest part of the night comes just before the beautiful dawn. Your current financial struggle is merely a passing shadow, created entirely by your old subconscious programming holding you back. We are falsely taught to believe in luck. Society tells you that some men are just born perfectly chosen. They want you to think success is just a random lottery ticket. That is a massive lie intentionally designed to keep you permanently weak. Success is a highly calculated mechanism. Wealth is a precise science of the mind. The universe operates strictly by law, and it does not hand out millions to those who simply wait. So why are you being tested right now? Because great power cannot be carelessly entrusted to a very weak mind. Imagine giving the keys of a massive empire to a man who panics at the first sign of rain. The universe must ensure your mental foundation is completely solid. It must break your old fragile identity. It aggressively strips away your false attachments. It forces you into isolation so you can finally hear your own voice. This period of intense frustration is a mandatory developmental phase. It is the cosmic clearing of the path. You are losing friends because they no longer match your dominant frequency. You are facing severe financial delays because you must urgently learn to detach from desperation. Desperation always repels abundance. As long as you operate from a place of lack, the universe will mirror that exact lack right back to you. You get what you are. You must boldly shift your identity today. You must step fully into the role of a sovereign commander. A king does not constantly beg for his kingdom. He confidently decrees it. He expects it to manifest as a completely natural consequence of his unbending laws. You have spent too many years playing the victim of your own chaotic mind. You allowed negative thoughts to build a heavy prison around your potential, but the door has always been unlocked. Today, I will show you exactly how to push that door open. We are going to expose the hidden enemy inside your brain. I will clearly reveal the invisible mechanism that is completely blocking your wealth right now. It is a filter in your subconscious that literally deletes opportunities from your vision. Until you urgently reprogram this specific mental filter, you will remain perfectly stuck in the exact same financial loop year after year. Let me make this perfectly clear. The universe is absolutely not punishing you. It is preparing you. It is patiently waiting for you to pass the final exam of mental endurance. And passing this critical test requires a radical shift in how you process fear. You can no longer afford the dangerous luxury of a single negative thought. Every time you loudly complain about your current circumstances, you instantly fail the test and the timer resets. You have to develop a cold calmness, a state of absolute detachment from the temporary chaos around you. When the bank account is low, you remain completely unbothered. When the terrible obstacle appears, you smile, because you finally know the law. You know that physical reality is just a delayed reflection of your past thoughts. The loud chaos you see today is just the leftover debris of the old you, and it has no power over your future. You are about to learn the hidden architecture of this universal test. I will break down exactly what happens in your brain when you face these obstacles. You will understand exactly why your hard work has not paid off yet. And more importantly, you will learn the precise method to clearly signal the universe that you are finally ready. You are going to completely rewrite the script of your destiny today. But how exactly does this universal filter operate? You must understand that the universe does not hand out power to just anyone, because it demands a rigorous qualification process. When you ask for massive wealth, you are asking to handle massive energy. And this raw energy will instantly destroy any vessel that is not properly prepared to contain it. The test is simply a check of your mind. Most people blindly believe that struggle is a clear sign to stop. They view temporary defeat as a permanent sentence. But here is the profound truth that no one will never tell you. Bumping into massive obstacles is the exact proof that you are moving in the right direction. If your path was completely clear, you would be heading nowhere important. The universe only tests the chosen few. Let us look closely at the fragile mind of the drifter. The drifter is entirely controlled by external circumstances. When the bank account drops, his internal state drops immediately alongside it. He constantly reacts to every single piece of bad news. He allows the physical world to dictate his emotional frequency. And because he reacts with immense fear, he commands more lack. Drifting is the ultimate enemy. A wrong decision is always better than absolutely no decision at all. The universe utterly despises the hesitant mind. When you encounter a severe setback and you begin to doubt your grand vision, you instantly fail the test. The drifter loudly complains about the storm. He begs the sky to stop raining. But the heavy rain is completely necessary to wash away his weak life. Now observe the powerful architect of destiny. The Creator operates on a completely different paradigm. He deeply understands that the universe works by strict law, not by a human clock. He knows that a cosmic delay is never a denial. When the Creator faces a brutal financial blow, he does not panic. He simply observes the painful event with a cold calmness, treating the obstacle as data. This is the monumental difference between the sleeping masses and the 1%. The Creator dictates his internal state regardless of the external chaos around him. He consciously acts as if he is already a wealthy king, even when his pockets are completely empty. He walks with unmatched authority. He speaks with absolute certainty. And he refuses to let an illusion corrupt his powerful mind. Your subconscious is a tireless contractor. It builds exactly what you instruct it to before you go to sleep. It does not ever judge your specific instructions. If you feed it heavy panic, it will meticulously construct a reality of panic for you to wake up in. The universal test is designed to see what materials you hand to this contractor under heavy pressure. Do you hand it faith or blind fear? Every single thought is a vital seed. Every action is water, and your future reality is the inevitable harvest of those planted seeds. When you are going through the cosmic test, your thoughts are magnified tenfold. The universe is closely watching your mental reactions. If you maintain your supreme focus while everything falls apart, you prove your true mastery. You signal that you are finally ready. You must ruthlessly protect your mental gates. You are the sovereign commander of your mind. Do not let random fears walk into your sacred temple. You must boldly practice cosmic housekeeping every single day of your life. This means rapidly cutting out toxic conversations. It means ignoring the pessimistic news of the world. You must aggressively guard your frequency at all costs. The test will often attack your most vulnerable points. It will strike your finances. It will suddenly disrupt your closest relationships. It will push you to question your own sanity, leaving you feeling totally isolated. But you must realize that this dark isolation is a profound gift. It separates you from the noisy crowd so you can tune your mind to the frequency of wealth. When everything goes wrong, the universe is simply asking for your definitive proof. It wants to know if your desire is a genuine command or just a weak fantasy. A mere fantasy will quickly evaporate under the intense heat of severe adversity, but a definite chief aim will harden like solid steel. You must look at the terrible circumstance and boldly declare your absolute dominance over it right now. You are the undisputed master of your fate. You are the conscious creator of your reality. The difficult circumstances around you right now are just dead energy. They are nothing but the lingering echoes of the poor choices you made years ago. Do not obsess over the dead echoes. Turn your powerful attention to the fresh seeds you are planting today, because the law never stops. But this grand law requires total consistency. You cannot hold a wealth frequency for 10 minutes and then worry for 10 painful hours. The universe reads the dominant vibration. If you spend 80% of your day terrified of bills, you are programming yourself for poverty. The test forces you to hold the wealth frequency precisely when it is the hardest thing to do. That is true power. Most men break entirely under this pressure. They desperately search for a magical tool to somehow bypass the intense pain. But there is absolutely no shortcut to mastering your own mind. You have to walk directly through the fire. You have to let the blazing flames burn away your old insecure identity. The man who walks out of that fire is completely unrecognizable to the world. Are you finally beginning to see the divine logic of your current struggles? You are not being unfairly punished. You are being rigorously forged. The heavy hammer strikes the iron to make it vastly stronger, not to destroy it. Your financial delays and personal setbacks are the very tools forging your new mind. If you can accept this profound truth, the burden instantly lifts. You now know the underlying mechanism. The drifter will hear this wisdom and quickly forget it. The master will use it tonight to completely shift his reality. Which one are you? You must decide right now to stop reacting to the illusions of the physical world. You must firmly anchor yourself in the invisible laws of the universe, because when you pass the mental test, the world must obey you. Do not just take my word for it. The greatest minds in human history faced this exact same brutal test. They walked through the darkest valleys before they built their massive empires. Let us look to the legendary titans who paved this golden path for us. Let us look to the incredible example of Thomas Edison. He did not build his massive legacy on mere hope. He faced a universal test so completely brutal that most ordinary men would have surrendered immediately. His massive laboratory burned to the very ground in a massive fire, and everything he had meticulously worked for was reduced to dark ashes in just a few agonizing hours. He was deeply in debt and already an older man. The average drifter would have wept heavily. He would have cursed the cruel sky and blindly begged the universe for pity. But Edison simply stood there and watched the blazing flames with cold calmness because he recognized that this disaster was the ultimate test of his powerful mind. The Titan never breaks. He did not view the terrible fire as a fatal cosmic punishment. He confidently declared that all his past mistakes were now entirely burned up. He started completely over the very next morning with incredible focus. This is the exact secret of the unstoppable force. When you lose every piece of physical comfort, you still retain your dominant internal frequency. And your disciplined frequency will swiftly rebuild the physical empire from nothing. This is not just ancient spiritual philosophy. It is hard biological neuroscience. Inside your brain is a powerful mechanism called the reticular activating system. We will call it the RAS for short. This tiny bundle of nerves perfectly filters out millions of pieces of data every single second, and it only lets you see the exact things that match your most dominant beliefs. If you constantly tell yourself that life is painfully hard, your RAS obeys. It acts as an incredibly obedient gatekeeper. It actively hides the brilliant opportunities sitting right in front of your face. It forces your eyes to only see the terrible debts and the angry people. You are absolutely blinding yourself to massive wealth because of a faulty mental filter. It is a biological law. I want you to stop exactly what you are doing. Close your eyes for just one brief second. Picture the heavy financial stress you are carrying right now. Now actively command your powerful brain to completely release it. Say this aloud with absolute authority. I am the true architect of my destiny. The high vibration of those spoken words instantly shifts your neurological state, and you begin to take back total control of your life. Andrew Carnegie started his life as a desperately poor boy. He worked in a dark and dirty cotton factory for just over $1 a week, but he possessed a definite chief aim that constantly burned like a wildfire inside his chest. He understood that his crushing poverty was merely a temporary phase. It was the universe rigorously testing his spiritual endurance before finally granting him access to massive riches. Carnegie completely refused to accept poverty as his permanent identity. While other factory workers bitterly complained about the extremely hard labor, he mentally operated as a wealthy king. He maintained a magnetic force that eventually attracted the greatest minds of his entire generation. He built a massive steel empire because his internal frequency was totally unbothered by external lack, and he never allowed his current reality to dictate his bold vision. Now we must examine the specific window of time where this programming actually occurs. There is a deeply receptive state of mind called hypnagogia. It happens in the brief magical moments right before you fall asleep. During this crucial twilight time, your conscious analytical mind is completely disarmed. The heavy gates to your subconscious mind are left wide open, and what you choose to do in this phase determines your entire future. The drifter uses this highly sacred window to intensely worry about his bills. He mentally replays every single argument he had that day. He hands his subconscious a highly detailed blueprint of failure and panic, and then his brilliant brain works for 8 solid hours to construct that exact panic in the real world. He wakes up already defeated. He is actively poisoning his own potential every single night. The conscious builder treats this twilight phase as a highly sacred ritual. He intentionally commands his frequency before his tired eyes close. He visualizes his grand empire already fully built. He deeply feels the immense gratitude of the achieved goal. The subconscious mind accepts this clear vision as absolute truth, and it immediately goes to work attracting the precise resources needed to manifest it into your physical reality. Modern quantum physics definitively proves that the observer directly affects the observed reality. The invisible atoms in your environment are always waiting for your explicit instructions. If your mind is weak, your physical reality remains chaotic and totally unorganized. But a disciplined thinker literally collapses probability into physical certainty. You are actually bending the fabric of matter with your highly focused attention. How did Henry Ford completely dominate the entire automotive industry despite his constant early failures? He actively applied this exact mental protocol every single day. He did not lazily hope for massive success. He completely expected it as his natural birthright. You must replicate this exact same unwavering expectation tonight, because the universe only surrenders its massive wealth to the man who demands it with absolute conviction. You must urgently stop measuring your personal success by the ticking clock. The vast universe absolutely does not operate on a human schedule. A seed planted in the dark soil does not visibly sprout the very next day. The drifter digs up the seed to constantly check on it and instantly kills it. The Creator simply leaves it alone because he trusts the invisible law and knows the rich harvest is inevitable. Your current financial suffering is just the dark soil. You are completely buried right now so you can properly grow strong roots. A massive oak tree needs incredibly deep roots to withstand the violent storms of life. If the universe handed you millions today, your shallow roots would snap instantly. The heavy external pressure is here to radically expand your mental capacity so you can finally hold true power. Do not ever complain about the heavy dirt again. Say this aloud right now. I command the infinite wealth that is rightfully mine. Say it repeatedly until your physical body actually believes it. You must systematically rewire your nervous system to tolerate massive success. The old version of you was utterly terrified of failure, but the new version of you views failure as completely irrelevant data. We have established the exact biological mechanism of your brain. We have seen the clear historical proof of the titans who came before us. You now completely understand exactly why you are being so fiercely tested. The universe is simply waiting for your clear energetic signal. But deeply understanding the science is only the very first step. So how do you make this incredibly practical? How do you pass the test tonight? Information without execution is just another form of dangerous drifting. You have heard the laws of the universe, and you understand exactly why you are being tested so fiercely right now. But understanding the theory will never change your bank account. You must aggressively apply this knowledge. You must implement a daily protocol that completely overrides your old weak habits. Step 1 is cosmic housekeeping. This is the absolute law of ruthless elimination. You cannot build a massive empire on a foundation of garbage. Your mind is currently cluttered with totally useless information because you spend hours consuming the negative fears of the masses. You must immediately stop watching the news. You must aggressively cut out every toxic voice in your life. Do not apologize for protecting your energy. When a friend constantly complains about their lack of money, walk away. Their poverty frequency is highly contagious. If you entertain their deep fears, your subconscious will adopt those exact fears as your own. You must establish a zone of cold calmness around you. You are the mental gatekeeper, so defend the gates with your life. Step 2 is defining your chief aim. A vague desire produces a very vague reality. The universe absolutely does not respond to casual wishes, but it yields entirely to a firm command. You must declare exactly what you demand from life. Grab a pen and write it down. You must be incredibly specific about the exact amount of money you intend to acquire. You must clearly define the precise timeline for its arrival. Stop what you are doing and listen to me. I command you to write this definite purpose down tonight. Do not merely think about it in your head. Writing it down physically bridges the invisible world with the material world, and it is the very first step of material manifestation. Once it is written, you must read it aloud with immense power every single morning and every single night. Step 3 is the sacred night ritual. This is where the true reprogramming happens. 15 minutes before you sleep, you must completely disconnect from the physical world. Put your phone entirely away in another room. No more scrolling through the chaotic noise of society. You must sit in the quiet darkness, and you must take absolute control of your internal frequency. Close your eyes and actively command your mind. Bring your definite chief aim to the very front of your brain. Do not just see it as a distant future event. You must profoundly feel the reality of it right now. Feel the heavy weight of the cash in your hands, and feel the immense relief of absolute financial freedom. Your subconscious cannot tell the difference between reality and imagination. You must fall asleep completely saturated in the deep feeling of wealth. Let that feeling be the final instruction you hand to your mental contractor. As you sleep, your brain will actively restructure its neural pathways. It will begin hunting for the precise opportunities needed to make that vivid dream a physical fact. You will wake up as a completely different man. Step 4 is the morning dominion protocol. When your eyes open, do not immediately reach for your phone. The drifter instantly checks his messages to see what the world wants from him, while the creator dictates to the world what he expects from it. Before your feet ever touch the floor, loudly state your definite chief aim again. Set the unshakable tone for your entire day. Now listen closely, because this is critical. The universe will rigorously test your new protocol. Sometime today, a piece of bad news will inevitably arrive. An unexpected bill will appear in the mail, or a client will suddenly cancel a massive deal. This is the exact moment the cosmic test is administered. How will you react? Will you instantly panic like you always did before? You must activate your cold calmness immediately. Treat the severe setback as a simple data point. It is absolutely not a tragic disaster. It is just dead energy leaving your reality. Take a deep breath and smile at the obstacle, because you know the secret law, and you know that reacting with deep fear will only command more failure. You remain completely unbothered by the illusion. Say this aloud when the heavy storm hits. I am the architect of my reality, and this too shall pass. You must aggressively force your mind back into the frequency of abundance. You must practice the ancient art of acting as if. Walk down the street like a billionaire, even if your bank account is totally empty. Speak with the deep authority of a man who has already won the war. Step 5 is relentless daily repetition. This is where most weak men fail completely. They practice the night ritual for 3 short days. When the millions do not instantly appear, they violently quit. They falsely claim the law of attraction is a scam, but they are just impatient drifters. You are attempting to overwrite decades of severe poverty programming. It takes massive time. You must be violently consistent. You must execute this protocol every single day without fail. You do it when you are tired. You do it when you are extremely frustrated. You do it when nothing seems to be working at all. Your strict discipline is the ultimate proof of your faith, and the universe only rewards the man who refuses to surrender his grand vision under heavy fire. The cosmic test is designed to break the weak, but it is meticulously designed to elevate you. By strictly following this exact ritual, you are building an impenetrable fortress around your mind. You are actively starving your deep fears and feeding your massive potential. The invisible enemy inside your subconscious is finally being starved to absolute death. You are taking your power back. You now possess the exact practical blueprint. You know exactly what to do tonight before you sleep. You know how to boldly command your morning. The heavy test is still active, but you finally hold the answers to the exam. The universe is waiting to see your next move, so you must firmly decide your path today. Now comes the defining turning point. Listen to me very carefully as we approach the final threshold. The heavy time for drifting is officially over. You have clearly heard the absolute truth today. You now completely know that every excuse you have ever made was nothing but a fragile shadow. The universe has severely tested your mind for years. It pushed you to the absolute breaking point. But today is the very day that the heavy test finally concludes. You must strictly make your final choice right now. Will you violently retreat to the chaotic noise of the sleeping masses, Or will you boldly step into the quiet power of the 1%? You cannot remain safely in the middle anymore, because the middle ground is entirely owned by the average drifter. The conscious creator firmly chooses his demanding path, and he completely destroys the safe bridge behind him. He leaves himself absolutely no safe way out today. You must aggressively kill the old version of yourself today. The weak version that constantly complains about the heavy rain must die immediately. The man who severely doubts his own massive potential can no longer exist here. You must look at your own reflection and actively demand absolute greatness, because nobody else is coming to magically save your struggling life. You are the only true savior of your destiny. You must realize that your past failures were incredibly necessary. They meticulously burned away your dangerous arrogance and pride. They taught you exactly how to survive the brutal winter. But the bitter cold winter is finally passing away. You have paid your heavy dues to the vast universe. Now it is strictly time to radically collect your massive reward. But you must actively claim it with supreme authority. This is the exact moment of your massive awakening. You came here as a man who was deeply exhausted by the heavy drift. You were completely tired of playing the helpless victim to your bad circumstances. But today you have finally remembered exactly who you are. You are the sovereign commander of your sacred mind. You are the undisputed master of your financial reality. The terrible financial storms around you are completely irrelevant now. The loud doubts of your highly pessimistic friends mean absolutely nothing. From this exact night forward, you operate entirely independently of motivation, and you refuse to let your feelings dictate your powerful actions. You are a relentless builder in the very invisible season. You are the ultimate architect of your physical destiny. The physical world must completely obey your firm mind. Stand up right now and aggressively claim your rightful throne. You are a magnetic force of incredible abundance. When you firmly command your internal frequency, the external world has absolutely no choice but to bend to your iron will. Do not let another negative thought ever decide your brilliant future again. Take total dominion over your daily reality and refuse to accept any average result. We are now establishing a highly sacred contract. This is not just a regular video on the internet for you to consume. This is a profound energetic boundary that you are officially setting with the massive universe, and it requires your absolute mental dedication today. You must firmly lock this exact frequency deep into your physical nervous system. The weak drifter will quickly close this and loudly return to his miserable daily habits. But you will act right now with massive conviction. If you are completely ready to command your ultimate destiny, you must seal your massive decision today. Go to the comments below and boldly write your definite chief aim. Declare your exact wealth target and your exact timeline for the entire world to clearly see. Let those powerful words be the binding contract you sign with the universe today. The universe will perfectly read your written command, and it will begin organizing the precise people and events needed for your victory. Do not ever hesitate for a single passing second. Hesitation is the absolute death of a grand destiny. Writing it down loudly signals your subconscious that you are incredibly serious. It forcefully commands the universe to immediately open the heavy gates of abundance. Write your sacred vow in the comments right now. Make the firm decision to never live as a totally powerless victim ever again. This profound knowledge is incredibly heavy and highly demanding. It will absolutely not serve you if you only hear it once and let it quickly fade away into the noise. The deep subconscious requires massive repetition to build a totally new world. Therefore, I command you to firmly subscribe to this channel right now. Join the elite ranks of the highly disciplined men who strictly refuse to drift. You must listen to this specific lesson again and again. Play it constantly as you drift peacefully to sleep tonight. Play it loudly as you aggressively work on your massive empire tomorrow. Make these strict principles the only dominant voice you ever tolerate inside your head. You must rigorously protect your new frequency from the chaotic world until your grand empire is entirely built. The masses constantly beg for a sudden miracle. The 1% clearly understand that they are the actual miracle. When you completely control your daily thoughts, you literally control the fabric of space and time. Do not ever let society tell you that your massive goals are totally impossible. Society is built entirely by average men who surrendered their massive dreams to the heavy drift, but you will absolutely not join them. But today, you are finally and completely awake. You now possess the ultimate blueprint of the Titans. The exact cosmic test that broke so many other men has actively forged you into a living weapon. Your focused mind is now incredibly sharp and resilient. Your grand vision is perfectly clear to the universe. The heavy days of your endless financial struggle are officially over. The universe completely recognizes your new powerful, energetic signature today. The ultimate test of your mind is officially over. You have perfectly passed the rigorous barrier of the universe. The brilliant season of your massive harvest begins in this exact moment. Always boldly command your powerful mind every single day. Ruthlessly control your daily frequency against all outside noise, and quietly watch the vast universe deliver your grand empire. Your completely new life starts exactly right now. Take your massive power back and rule your world.